poem is called Stone Legacy. Have you ever explored an old Flint Hills downtown? Strolled down the sidewalks, just looked around? It doesn't take long. There's just a few blocks, but lessons to learn that should not be forgotten. Take a look at the names and the dates on the top. A building still standing made out of rock. From the mid-1800s to the late 19-teens, the Flint Hills were booming with new folks and big dreams. The buildings they built supplied things of great need. Banking, groceries, dry goods, livery, tools, and seeds. They weren't put up in a hurry. They required great skill. Limestone blocks were carefully laid from the floors up to the sills. And have you noticed the beauty? The stonework on the top, the decorative window and door frames, made with so much thought. We know lesser buildings would have long ago been torn down, but these were made for the ages. That's why they're still around. They've survived tornadoes and floods muddy and deep, but their businesses died when our values changed to quick, disposable, and cheap. Now many of them stand empty. Others are in use as secondhand stores, selling old tools and bottles and other antiques from the days of yore. You're likely to find a bar and perhaps a small cafe, and you should go inside and spend part of your day. In there, you'll meet some local folks who can remember way back when this downtown was a thriving place before the Walmart store moved in. Now take a drive along a back road and you may shed a tear for an old stone house that's been vacant many years. It was built quite simply, but once filled to the brim with families, children's laughter, and the dreams they held within. Built by a settler who came from way back east, using the brawn of his back and the talents he had with his hands and his fists, he carefully shaped and laid each stone to provide shelter for his kin. Who knows how many generations lived there before the roof fell in. The walls still stand to remind us of the guts and of the drive it took those pioneer families to come here and survive. The house awaits a savior, someone to come along to restore it to its former self. Simple, straight, and strong.
Yep.
Did you notice the miles of stone walls, now many of them tumbled down, that once protected livestock from dangers all around? Can you imagine the backbreaking labor and the repetitive toil required to build these fences from rocks found in the soil? The state paid wages to build them back when they closed the open range. That was in 1867. Kansas thought it was time for change. Barbed wire soon replaced the stone walls, and our ranches grew quite grand. But limestone is the secret that saved our prairie land. It's here the tall grass grows and thrives because the rocks deterred the plows. Our ranching culture continues to thrive with God's great gifts to cows. The Flint Hills are a wonderful place to live and call our home, and we owe it all to an inland sea that blessed us with this stone.